Okay, day 123, the DynCorp harvest. Have a little bit of a cold, sorry, but the point I want to make today is about the Muslim Brotherhood. If you allow the Muslim Brotherhood, let's say these three Awan brothers, to have access to our Foreign Affairs Committee in the House, our House Intelligence Committee, and the Homeland Security, you're not going to be able to stop La Raza with Stinger missiles around our major cities. You're not going to be able to go after Muslim Brotherhood in 32 different countries. They're always going to know where you are before you get there. And you're not going to be able to pull up these rat lines because they're going to be able to move the rat lines before any military action is concerned. We got into a bad habit with DynCorp. In the 80s, sort of is where it took the bad turn, but the 1993 in Bosnia, we started doing organ harvesting, and then it really got out of control in 1999 in Kosovo with the organ harvesting. I'll show how that moved over to Iraq. So, and how the CIA fixtures that are spies within our own State Department are still in effect, are still working from the days in Iraq. Same guys. So you probably all are aware of the Awan brothers, these two of them were 22, the other one's a little bit older, but they were making $160,000 a year, and they had access to all of our top intelligence committees. Okay. There's actually 5 total that were working in the House, the 2 wives as well. They're being funded by a guy that goes all the way back to the Bush administration when we were trying to topple Saddam Hussein. And what the CIA does is they always have a gang counter gang. So it's always the Iranians versus the Iraqis. It's always the Sunnis versus the Shia and so forth. And so this group here is going to be more of a Hezbollah funded, a more Shia group. But then there's another group of spies that we haven't found, I'm sure, that are going to be more Sunni oriented. So the guy behind all this is called al-Attar, Dr. al-Attar. He's an internal medicine guy. He got his degree at the American University in Beirut. So he was actually the CIA fixture who was giving these guys all the money for their operations in the United States, getting them their house. They got about $2.3 million through the car dealership that they were running together. Well, al-Attar has his own history of kind of bilking and walking away from debt. He did FBI investigated him for $2.3 billion in fake bills in 2007 to 2009. His license suspended in 2009, revoked in 2011. Constant reports of him being exploiting women who were under the use of anesthesia sexually. IRS finally indicted him in 2012 for income tax evasion. He fled the country. But he still, up until a couple of weeks ago, was still allowed to be a member of or owner of this CIA front car dealership. It was actually called CIA, if you can believe it or not, and to funnel money to these Muslim brothers, these 5 people that were running the spy ring out of this house in Virginia. So these types of rings, this goes back to Wolfowitz. He was a CIA fixture back then in 2003. My point being is these rat lines are not new. They're very old, and they keep getting reused over and over. And until we pull off the Band-Aid, it's not going to get any better. I believe that from the Kosovo experience in 1999 and 2001, when we did the second Gulf War, we put al-Attar, he became the Minister of Health. And he was the guy who ran the organ harvesting program all during from 2001 to the time we left from the time we left in 2012, I believe. So Attar is going back and forth between the United States and Iraq to affect all this harvesting. That really hasn't come out yet in my reporting, but it will come out. Final slide here. I just want to say the 650,000 emails. I realize the Bush has destroyed 1.1 million emails. I realize that Hillary before that did 1.1 terabyte that she destroyed from 93, so forth. I'm not going after just Hillary here. What I'm saying is if you don't pull the roots up on these rat lines, they just keep repeating themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. Those other emails of the last 20 years are gone. We have a chance now. Now, there was a judicial watch where they were just trying to get 30 of the ones that between Hillary and Petraeus that answered to Benghazi, there was a district judge who said, no, there was nothing nefarious in these 30 emails. Well, it's really not his thing to judge for the American people's right to know. It's the Federal Records Act. There are records. If someone subverts the Federal Records Act, those need to be produced immediately. And I encourage Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch to appeal that to the appellate court. And if the appellate court doesn't agree, then take it to the Supreme Court. You have to, that'll start the thread, pulling the thread. Then we'll get the whole 1,000 emails from Petraeus, because we'll see that there were programs. And then we'll be able to pull on the string a little bit more and get these 650,000 emails. So that's the update for this morning.